All right. Surviving Diddy. I'm assuming the finale. Is that what we
Is it the finale? No,
I know. I mean, it is the finale. Allegedly, it is. I mean, we can't sit here and act like it's not the finale. I mean, to this until further notice. We may have, what is it, an epilogue? Or something else happens.
Yeah,
a prequel. I don't know.
Well, it would definitely be an epilogue because that's after.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, maybe Diddy, we find some new information out of some old stuff that somebody come out with.
Look,
maybe it's a prequel.
That's true. So funny enough, after the verdict was revealed, I got hit up and by my homeboy and was like, "Oh, do you know about the other suit that has taken place where one of the stylists have sued Diddy?" And so I saw who it was. I was like, definitely know who that person is too. Don't have it's not how like my direct relationship is with the assistant, but definitely know that person too because he also styled like other people.
Oh, so this is
so I interacted with him more in my front of house when I was working in retail on the front end. So
you like no okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people like working in retail, you would meet so many people, you would build a clientele, like that's the whole purpose in certain markets. So yeah. So it's interesting. I was like, damn, another lawsuit, and it is same thing, abuse, groping, verbally accosting people. And I'm like, I think it's just going to be people consistently coming out at this point. But at the end of the day got to end, and our boy got sentenced to 4 years in the pen.
Yeah, I mean, what are your initial kind of thoughts? Hold on. I want to play this from CNN, how he reacted.
Okay.
I want to see the CNN. I mean, because you would have thought this was like like the Game 7 of the World Series or something. The way that it was, every outlet was down, and like they had blow by blow. If you went on CNN, because I was in a meeting and I was following it on the doggone the CNN's website. Like they would give everything that the judge was saying.
Look, and when you text me, I said, "Oh, okay." I'm over here cleaning my carpet. I'm like, look, I'm already preparing for Thanksgiving. Okay, I gotta clean my house.
Oh, she said I'm preparing. Hey, I ain't mad at it though. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I'm like doing a deep clean.
Hold on, my thing is messing up with this. Hold on, y'all. But so I mean, as I pull this up, so what was your initial thoughts because I sent it to you? Was you like, dang, or was you like?
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm gonna be honest. Mm-hmm. I was shocked that he got the time that he got. So I was thinking, like a percentage of it would be time served. And I'm also streaming onto my phone. So it's like it's a lot happening.
I'm gonna play. Hold on, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna get your reaction. Let's play with CNN. Okay. People are seeing it yet.
Diddy Combs was stoic as the judge handed down his 50-month sentence. That's more than 4 years. Now, Sean Combs, from my observation, sitting inside that courtroom, did not have much of a reaction as his fate was handed down to him. It was actually moments before that he got emotional, crying when he spoke to the judge, which was the first time that he had addressed the court at length, throughout his entire 2-month trial. Now, he faced his children and he said, "I am sorry, I have failed you as a father." He then looked at his mother sitting in the gallery of the courtroom and said, "You raised me better than this." And that is when his voice was cracking and when he began to cry. Now, Sean Combs's attorneys took a very long time with the sentencing proceedings today. 5 of his attorneys speaking at length to the judge, talking about how he is a changed man, how he is a man who suffered from drug abuse, but that he has a lot of good to offer the world. In fact, one of his attorneys saying that the world needs Sean Combs. Another one of his attorneys crying as she told the judge that she herself was inspired by Sean Combs. Now, despite the defense's efforts, the judge said that, of course, he was taking that into consideration and that he agreed with his attorneys that he has made great impact on the world as a self-made businessman who has inspired so many, particularly the Black community. But here's what the judge said when he scolded Combs. He said, quote, "History of good work cannot wash away this case." He said that he used his abuse to get your way. He asked Combs, why did the abuse continue for so long, that being the abuse against Cassie and Jane? And he said, quote, "Because you had the power and resources to keep it going and you didn't get caught."
All right, Dom, there you go. That was CNN's report of how the diddler was acting.
It's one of those things where it's tricky, right? Where do we believe people can be rehabilitated? And we believe that people can be rehabilitated. We believe that people can change. I believe that. You believe that. We all have been our worst versions of ourselves before. And we have done the work to show up. And it's an ongoing thing, you know, where we are consistently working at that. Do I believe that somebody that has only been in jail for about a year now, a little over a year, has been fully rehabilitated and should be out roaming the streets, and that the world is missing this person? Absolutely not. This has been almost 30 years of torture, abuse, in different areas of the industry from this person. I share with you some information that now I know that we have to legally cut, for legal reasons, have to cut out of a podcast, that when that house was raided, he did not stop, you know, calling the escorts and all of this stuff.
When they picked him up, when they picked him up and arrested him, he was having a freak off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When they picked him up for, like, when the feds came to get him, he was having a freak off. It was baby oil and drugs in there.
Okay, wow. So yes, so when we talk about things like that, and I can see if it was something where he has been in jail for, you know, a couple years, and this trial was consistently delayed and all this stuff. But I mean, given that they only got him on the 2 prostitution charges and not everything else, I'm still kind of shocked that it is 4 years. I think he's gonna do, you know, the majority of that, because, you know, you got to do 80% of the time. I don't think that's gonna be true. But do I think he's gonna be home by Christmas? I don't think so.
No, I thought it was a possibility he'd be home by Christmas. I'm not going.
Yeah, once they said that, I was like, no, I don't think he'll be home by Christmas. And so, yeah, and here we are. And now it's like you want to show emotion, express remorse, how you felt, people. And to be honest, I'm not an attorney. At this point, the way the world is going, I might have to suck it up and go to law school. But child, because if that's the only way, that's why I'm gonna get the job. But here we are. But I would, if I was Diddy's attorney, if I was defending him, I would have been coaching him to be emotional. You don't care about the shit you did. We know you don't. But there's a level of where people, like I said, people are you starstruck, just like how that guy lied that wanted to be on the jury that they had to remove that lived in Jersey. And then how we also said, like, what was interesting about this case, them not having the jurors sequestered, like the witnesses sequestered on this trial, like unlike OJ's case, right? Or any other high profile case.
Yeah, but I think they stopped sequestering people as much anymore. Let me see.
I feel like a case like this, because we know the history of this person, bribe, attacking, trying to coercion. But what's interesting is, like I said, it's a little too late for him to be.
Okay, so they said they're rare now. They said
it's rare.
Still exists, though they are rare and typically reserved for high-profile criminal cases, like is what you just said.
Yeah, this is a high-profile case. So they probably do it. Yeah, probably more so if it's like a mobster or something. So keep people safe and their identities concealed, right? But
oh dang, the reason they don't do it as much is because of budgets. It says due to significant cost and inconvenience for both the jurors and the court, sequestering is a measure of last resort. So
they on some
it's the budget. They don't,
but they also know, like, it's so many ways where you can capture somebody.
If you got me up in the room, I'm getting room service, baby. Look, I'm getting it.
But it's also I'm looking at it from the standpoint where, if let's say we know Diddy still got money, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to sway the jury in my favor. And I see who these people are, and I tell my team, make sure you get to them. This is the dollar amount. There are certain people you can tell by the body language and their response who you are supposed to, who you can get. You can tell, you know, and then go from there. That's what I was like, you know what I mean? But ultimately, I think for Diddy, it was a little too late to be emotional, because man, the way I would have broke down and just cried, like on the stand as Cassie is telling her, her testimony, baby, I would have played into it. And that doesn't, no, but this is the reality of the situation. Like, you already didn't give it, but then the judge could see, because at the end of the day, yeah, the jury has this portion of it, but then the final say is up to the judge.
Yeah.
So right. I think if he would have acted out a little more, I think that he would have probably not gotten 4. And he lucky he got 4. He's lucky he got 4, but I'm just shocked, just simply because they didn't get him on nothing else. I was like, damn, y'all gonna keep, but it's like he got to give him something.
Yeah, they had to.
They had to give him something.
I mean,
but like we told you, but like we already said, the way the prosecution went in and what they was trying to get him on, they charged him with the wrong things, and
they messed up.
Like I told you,
they really overcharged this man.
They overcharged him,
and it got us all hyped, thinking like, damn, Rico. Like if you're thinking the feds are charging this much, you thinking we finna get some bombs, and we just never got.
Yeah, no, but they also focused on the Cassie aspect just a little too much, where this is just domestic violence, and not just saying just to minimize it, but they focused on that key element a little too much when there are other areas where they could have pulled, like he technically did do, should have been, charged with a RICO, when you start breaking down like the basic legal layman terms of what that means. But like I said, state to state, everything's constantly get convoluted and blurred. And here in California, I told you, had that been the state of California trying him, he would have been found guilty on that. He would have been found guilty on the trafficking as well.
Yeah, he lucky, man. I'm sorry. Somebody said
he's definitely lucky.
Like, the whole play. And look, I don't think he was facing life, and I did it. He could have got 20, and then the prosecutor was asked for 11, and you only got 4, and you already got a year and some change already. Look. I know some people are like, oh, he getting real. Dude, he got 3 years. You better just sit there and take that and not be trying to rock the boat. Literally.
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing. Like I said, this 4 years, he's not doing that. I don't think he's doing that. He's requested to be at a minimum, like a low security prison. And he's all, they try to ask Donald Trump about Ghislaine Maxwell. And he done said, well, Diddy asked me for a pardon. So, and that was just an hour ago.
I mean, that's what everybody's been suspecting, though, is that he would ask for one from.
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's one of those interesting things where it's going to be interesting to see post Diddy life.
What do you mean?
Once he's out, I say for real, give or take. I mean, if they include this year that he already done, they're gonna make him do another year.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do 85% fair time. That's 85% fair time off the top. So, and he already got a year and some change already. He'll be out in 2 years.
I think he'll be out before that because look at British. British didn't do that 80% of that.
British snitched though too. Allegedly.
It's none of my business. It's none of my business.
But no.
But also all of these places are overcrowded. Here's a conversation. And this is
Fed though. Fed is not necessarily overcrowded. No. States is overcrowded.
I'm gonna say this. I don't foresee him doing 80%. I don't. But
I mean, that's mandatory though. 85% is mandatory.
For the most part, it is, but they're gonna appeal it. That's why
they said they claim they're gonna appeal it. Yes,
they are gonna appeal it, which leads me to also believe that he might not do that full time. I say all that to say here is a conversation that we have to have about sex work. This Puritan idea, the weird shit that this country is doing, and how they trying to,
I mean, they make you put your ID in for Pornhub now in certain states.
Yes, but which I ain't even gonna hold you. You should be doing that pretty much anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know about that data hack though. Like, I got to upload my ID, give a selfie. It's all kind of stuff you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, but we do that to have weed delivered out here, so it ain't that big of a deal. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, if I ain't going in, and you still got to do it when you go in. I ain't. For me, it ain't that big of a deal.
Okay.
But so it's the conversation surrounding sex work and legalizing sex work, though there is a way around it with being, which sometimes he did, use, and what it sounds like for the most part, he did use those services that people have, those escort services, right?
He definitely used it.
I said, I'm going to.
Like wouldn't it be like a higher level? Like he was using like cheaper ones. Like you would think there would be like some Kris Jenner or something of the male escorts, or what was the Holly Fleiss that had the men's bunny ranch in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
She was back when Mike Tyson was on Bad on Luck. She offered him like $500,000 to be out there for like a month.
Yeah,
I'm saying somebody highly hitting her up is what I'm saying. Like a high class one where it could be super discreet. He was going on Backpage and.
But that's what I was saying. I was like a certain percentage. But when it comes, we have to have that conversation about legalizing sex work and releasing shame from that. People talk shit about people that are, end up going that route. It should be safer, how it is in other countries that protect people, and whatever you like, that's just what it is, regardless of, if they gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever. But that's really what it boils down to. If it was legalized, like this wouldn't even be a topic of conversation. And y'all always want to cut us something anyway, as the government. So I'm surprised y'all don't, and then take y'all cut.
You're right. Take their cut. You're right about that. about taking a cut.
Because I can't be. The issue is like I can't be mad. Like where I was honest this whole time. I said they're gonna have a hard time getting him on the sex trafficking, and it was like though that RICO was proven based on certain criteria.
Mhm.
And then they was not gonna be able to get him on underage. Like having sex with minors, because if somebody presented an ID, unless that person came forward and said, at this time I was 16 or I was 17, I knew that was going to be a fail. So I don't know why they even push that. But when you have people that are consenting to something and then now y'all going across, it becomes convoluted, because y'all never really, outside of Cassie, nobody really said that, oh, I went or against my will. Like y'all talked about the abuse, y'all talked about the drugs, but it seemed like everybody, was willing to go and consented to it. Consented to going across state lines. So that's where that trafficking, I could see if it was like, I loaded up these hoes, I got them on the, like I loaded them up and I took them across state lines and then I did XYZ. But that's not what happened. So, but that it goes back, only able to get him on prostitution because of XYZ. Now, if I was a sex worker, what I would be doing is, kind of getting my crew together. And I know some people like, shit, I ain't really trying to like save the world or whatever, but shoot, I would be, this can't be a thing. This cannot always be a thing. We see these politicians all the time get caught up. Y'all on these apps, y'all meeting up with people, y'all meeting up with little boys, like y'all not being. So it's always gonna be a thing.
Meeting up with little boys.
Meeting up with the boys, or they think they meeting up with the boys, and they be meeting up with the police.
Shout out to Catch a Predator.
Just saying. They be catching people over here, meeting them at the Glendale Mall all the time, a mile away from my house.
Oh, really? So they be setting them up by your crib?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap.
All the time. Yeah. People getting so sick of the police taking too long that they taking matters into their own hands.
Oh, so these are private citizens doing these things? Oh.
And then they apprehend them, call the cops.
Oh, wow.
People getting tired.
To catch a no, so they doing on their own. These are private citizens.
They doing it on their own.
Dang.
I'm not mad at it. Like when you got kids, your mind is different.
Yeah, I agree. Because it'd be some flowers singing and some candle bringing and something happened to the panda bear. Look, listen, on that.
Listen, panda.
First of all, she screams super loud and she's super aggressive. That's a hard bear to want to pull down. You must really want her.
Yeah.
you must really want her, because it's a lot of other ones that would be easier to get.
Man, you're right.
But one thing that was interesting to me, and they were saying like that Diddy's kids were crying, daughters particularly. I'm talking about the daughters particularly, were crying, and he was crying about how he failed them and stuff. It's interesting to me, man, that people are giving him a lot of grace for this with his kids and feeling sorry, but they don't have the same grace for Cassie or any of these other women that have been, that we've seen his hands put on her and kicking her and all kind of stuff. But I'm supposed to, and I do feel sorry for his daughters to a certain extent, but I'm like, I don't feel sorry for him with his daughters. Like, he going away, yeah, it's messed up for their daughters that they had a daddy, but fuck their daddy. I'm gonna be honest with you, like. He's out here literally putting his hands, because we talked about before, if Diddy if somebody even looked at his daughter something crazy, he'd be jumping on them. But it was cool for him putting his hands on Cassie though, and that was supposed to be just all good.
Yeah, I mean that's how it typically happens too.
Yeah.
Where it's a man that is absolutely in love and adores his daughters, his sons, and then treat the women in his life like shit. Like, you see, how Gene Deal said that you know, that how he would talk to his mother, and he was like, dog, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? Like, I told you about talking like that about like to your mama. Like, that's your mother. But you want to know what's the interesting thing element, and this is something that I'll go back to, is when he addressed his mother and saying like he felt his mom and all this stuff. But devil's advocate, your mother failed you as a kid because she groomed you. And we don't talk about that. And his, you know, we could talk about, yes, he lost his father at a very, you know, young age, which he did. But when you hear the wild lifestyle that his mother was also living, also contributes to his wild party, you know, party animal, party like behavior. And then it is with that comes a level of power, and you know, you get that God complex. And he just would not stop. He would not stop. And the fact that you are intimidating people and telling people that you would have them killed, nobody will miss them, you holding people hostage, like this is the fucking Godfather. Like this is the Godfather, and this is okay for you to kidnap your assistant. Which I was shocked that he didn't get charged with that, because you did pick me up somewhere and take me somewhere, and I didn't know where I was. And you holding me, you making me, you know, tie me up, forcing me to take a lie detector test because you thought I stole from you. How about this? You take me to HR and we have a conversation. You know, like it's so easy.
Did Bad Boy have HR? Let's be for real.
Like I'm just saying, like there's so many ways you can terminate.
I've never heard of anyone
but
work
then
for Bad
again,
Boy
like
HR.
It's no way that it was just, it was too many holes in the prosecution, and they did not do their job. And that's where the issue lied. The prosecution did not do a good job.
Yeah, they did a horrible. I mean, they didn't do their job.
So I mean, Diddy, sucks for you that you got charged for 4 years. Again, I am shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
before, just, you know, considering.
I mean, I hope he does come out and do the right thing and be a better person. But the thing to me was even wild that he was booking stuff for the next week, thinking he was.
Maybe he thought he. I knew he wasn't getting out that week. I knew he wasn't getting out. Like I was like, oh, you crazy?
He was booking stuff. I mean, see, he wasn't booking club appearances. It was supposed to be like something to try to talk to other prisoners at other places in like Miami or something along those lines. But the idea that you booked it thinking that you finna get out is the thing. No, like
here's the thing. And what if the judge went back and was like, oh,
he did? I'm assuming he did.
And was like, oh, you really think this a game? You really think you about to and I'm like, people just don't, as my mom says, look at the Z before they step into the A. Because why would you do that and you know that you are trying to get out?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Baby, I don't know either.
Like what Diddy, what are you doing, man? Like, it's just amazing that he was sitting there booking other appointments, even if it wasn't a club event or anything entertainment wise. It was supposed to be some community service or working with, like I said, working with the community and stuff. But he's just Diddy is just. He's so complicated to me because, yeah, we would want to give someone a second chance and redemption, but he's repeatedly shown over and over again that he may not give a fuck about nobody but himself and his
exactly. Kids. I think that's the part where it gets a little, where it gets a little convoluted and like twisted but I think that's just his own narcissism. And it sounds like my friend said it in the comments that she's like, that's sex addiction. That is what this is, you having all these different issues where, like you said, I didn't know that when he got picked up that he was in the middle or it just ended. But
They
like
had,
I
they had
can only
drugs
tell
and they
you
got
what,
drugs in there. Yeah, drugs and baby oil was in there.
and then all I could tell you is after the raid, what happened. And now we potentially looking at potentially having to take that out. And that was such good tea.
So because
But
it was on another episode you was doing.
yeah, it's on the very first episode of that sex cast. The escort, the male escort that we interviewed, shared that information with us.
Oh, dang. Was he was one of the dudes that was in the case?
No. So he was his friend had gotten hired, but the friend shared that information with him and he shared it with us for the first time.
So it was
He had
third party information. That's why I had to take it out.
No, it's just we have to take it out just because the name was said. If it was something where it was alluded, we probably could use it. And I'm like, I wonder if we can bleep it out, bleep the name out, and then still use it.
But it was just too much to try to do all that. So you just had to chop it up.
Yeah.
Dang, man. But if anybody's in the chat, what y'all thinking? How y'all? I mean, it was 4 years, too much, not enough. I think he came off pretty cool. I ain't gonna front. I thought he was gonna get about this amount, 3 to 4 years, especially after like the Mann Act, because he couldn't just let him walk out of there.
So I'm looking at some of absolutely. So I'm looking at some of the credit. Paydara said that Diddy was just a freak. Cassie was complicit in this too. Why wasn't she charged? So we have to talk about the idea of grooming. And grooming happens when someone that is like older than someone, like Chris said, that has a certain level of power over a person, and you're conditioning them to like that this is normal, this is the way it is, this allows you to have a certain level of control. And this was her life for about 10 years. She signed to Bad Boy at 19 years old. By that time,
in a 10-album deal.
And a 10-album deal, which is also already predatory enough. And we talk about like, look, we talk about shout out to my brother. What up, Mars? We talk about Diddy in the aspect of like him doing bad deals, period. So is Diddy behavior shocking to us? No, this is not shocking at all. Like, we've heard rumors and things, going back to when he was with Kim for a long time. And this is outside of I'll Be Sure.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's I'm not gonna say Cassie was going with the flow, because she's like, what else is she supposed to do? She's young. And so she was very impressionable. And when you're dating a man with money, and you are young like that, and you're impressionable, and there are certain things that this person is giving you access to. We knew Cassie from the Delia's magazines. Like, let's be clear. Like, she was modeling, she was, getting like commercial stuff here and there, but I knew Cassie from the Delia's magazine. Okay. Old nose Cassie. Okay. But then when she hooked up with Ryan Leslie and he started producing that music for her, who also had no business dating Cassie either. Let's be clear. Yeah. We're gonna call you out too, Ryan. But you have to think about all of this, like the different areas of that. And it's just like nobody. And here's the thing: we have to remember, just like the case with Chris Brown and Rihanna, the state pressed charges. The state of New York pressed charges against against Sean Combs. Cassie ain't out here mad. But what I'll tell you is this: she could probably sleep better at night because that man was still harassing her. I can confirm that. even though they were not together. That girl didn't live in LA no more. That girl was off grid. That girl was off grid. A lot of people that worked for her, they did not live here anymore because of Homeboy's behavior and how he was harassing people, just like how you still harassing that girl that you shot. You shot her in the face. And you were still harassing her all of them years later. All of them years later. Why? What you mad about? You didn't go to jail. You didn't go to jail. So I think people need to really understand and look up what abuse means and the levels of abuse. When you talk about grooming, that's abuse.
Yeah.
That's manipulation. That is illegal. So, and see, Mars, I don't know if you was in here earlier. He said that video of Cassie in the hallway alone was enough, and all the evidence and the trafficking component. Like I said, if that was California, they would have got him on the trafficking charge.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
I've been saying that because each state's trafficking laws are different.
But this is Fed though.
This the feds, but it's not like it's DC. It's the state. So it's still adhering to the laws in New York.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when you break down that logic behind what abuse is and that power aspect of it, like we talk about, even just in dating, we talk about love bombing. That's abuse. Things, like somebody saying things to you, verbally abusive. That's abuse.
Yeah.
Putting your hands on somebody, physically abusive. So, yeah, I feel like Diddy is also politically and legally connected in NY, a way that he may not be in Cali for sure. He's rich and powerful.
Oh,
and
I'll put for everybody.
Yeah, but he ain't got leverage everywhere like that. And that's the thing. It's like, because of that law that they have in New York, where it gives people that extension, that's why Cassie filed that here in New York versus here in California, because the you have a window of when you can report anything.
So dang, so you think Cali would have let him get off, huh?
Oh no, they wouldn't have. His ass.
Oh, not let him off. I'm sorry.
They would have got his ass. They would have got his ass. And it's just the same thing. Similarly, when people talk about the whole issue with the Meg Thee Stallion case and Tory Lanez, and people be mad at Meg, I'm like, okay, so she said what she said, which was that he shot her. Y'all are saying that, the Ring camera said something else. I don't know what Ring camera y'all talking about that hasn't been released, what footage y'all talking about. But I do know is that when they apprehended Tory Lanez and they took him to jail and he called Kelsey, I know what that phone call said. And then
Diddy wasn't that dumb, though. Diddy wasn't that dumb.
Yeah, he wasn't that big. And so people are like, it's this whole.
You got the best lawyers in the business. They best like, don't talk to nobody on the phone.
Well, but I'm just like, okay, look, y'all are mad that this guy went to jail.
What up, Randy? Sorry, you got her latest. All good, Randy.
The facts are the state had enough evidence to find him guilty. I don't give a fuck if a girl, they're like, well, she lied about sleeping with him. So do you know how many of these crusty ass niggas I'd be like, who? What? I forgot, because it was like I didn't come, so it doesn't count. No, like we do that. Just like y'all lie. Y'all be fucking on like raggedy, broke down, ashy feet, ashy ankle, crusty toenail women. Men, y'all a fucking couch. And y'all talking about, oh, well, she shouldn't have lied. Okay, why is it any of y'all business? Who did she sleep with?
I mean,
And so I say all that to say there was enough evidence there that this person is behind bars. I'm not about to get on social. And here's the thing, and this is what a lot of the crazy things that are happening in social media, it's been draining. This Megan, draining. Cardi B, Nicki, draining. Puffy, draining. The only person that I know that's gonna go and appeal anything or do anything is Puff Daddy. Tory Lanez, go. You talking about all this new information? Y'all having people tweeting all this stuff, and you still fucking up, leaking stuff to blogs and playing blogs. That's dumb. I would be using that money toward an attorney to get an appeal and say XYZ. Also, like I told you before, you ain't from here. You ain't from the ghetto. You don't owe no street credit. If you didn't do it, whatever. Then you say I didn't do this, and then say her homegirl did it.
Mm-hmm.
Say what it was. Say, actually, this is what happened. I snatched that, and then the gun went off. That very well could have happened. I think that's a huge possibility. But that phone call says something else.
That's the thing that got him.
And that's what got him caught up. I don't know why the fuck he caught that girl. Hey, and like I said, I'm a huge Megan. I love Megan. But I wouldn't, if I was a nigga where I was like, shit, I ain't saying shit to incriminate myself.
No, yeah, look, my name is Bennett. I ain't in it.
And like I tell everybody, go to that office and pay that lawyer and let the lawyer do their job.
You said pay that lady, lay down and pay that lady. What we do for the lawyer?
It's like pay the lady and lay on the couch.
Right. So what we gonna do for the lawyer? Pay that
I said step foot in that office, give him his retainer, and let him do his job. Because for me, I'm like, when it comes to Nicki, why? See, and that's what they like to do. They like to try to crucify people in a court of public opinion, right? Instead of just going to, you think, Jay-Z, oh, you didn't read your documents, you didn't read your paperwork, whatever, all this stuff is happening. If somebody owed me money like that, hey, you know what I'm doing? Going to the office, paying that retainer, and letting them do their job.
Let them do their job. I mean, so Diddy gets 4. I'm sure we're gonna be hearing more stuff. We'll be updating you on the regular, everyone needs Aquarius, but we did lives for these Surviving Diddy. Unless something crazy come happen, it'll just be, you just got to come to the regular show and get the updates.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna do
we'll update y'all for sure tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about homegirls calling that girl kids monkeys and roaches.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that Kyrian Lewis situation down in Louisiana with the football player where they found out that he didn't hit
that man, he killed that man.
And then he killed himself because of all that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
people, oh, child. It is
shout out to people that have been hitting us up though. Dom says Groves and old girl, the $33 million girl, they together, and there's some story. Somebody hit me up, was like they in a Tyler Perry movie on an island together. Derek Groves, our boy from New Orleans.
Oh yeah, and
old girl, the PPP loan girl, Elaine. I think her name was Elaine or something like that. He said that they in a Tyler Perry movie on the island somewhere.
Not a Tyler Perry movie.
They run in the bar in the new Why Did I Get Married Again movie that's coming out that Tyler Perry's got. That I don't know if Janet Jackson's gonna be in it. That's one thing.
Look, I don't know either, Daryl. That's just craziness. Look, Janelle say hi.
So Janelle, what up? What up? What's she talking about?
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for listening to our Surviving Diddy recap. Hey, Diddy, 4 years. He's lucky. His lucky stars, as they say. You know. Hey,
wait. Now, was this intentional? The Biggie shirt?
Yes.
Oh, I just, when you lean back, I was like, wait a second.
One of the greatest rappers that do it, you know. Shout out to Diddy and his estate that his mama flipped.
Man.
Or got good. I don't know if she got good financial advice. She was smart enough for that at least.
Yeah.
To flip his estate.
Look, I don't have no words. Like I said, I have a feeling we'll be back here. I do have a feeling we might be back here.
For the
But
appeal.
y'all, while we have y'all,
Mm-hmm.
we will be doing a recap of Reasonable Doubt. We're almost at episode 5. We need to do the first 4 episodes.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is an interesting season to say the least. And it's gonna go. I feel like part of me wants to be like, oh, because other seasons there are certain aspects of it that's just like a little predictable.
Mm-hmm.
But then I've been like, but now I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. They kind of got me, and I just been kind of thinking about stuff and rewatching.
I knew what's so crazy is I knew old girl was the one that was messing with him when they said that.
Oh yeah. I knew that,
and I think she's the one that took old girl out too.
I could see that. I'm like, but also
because that's Mercedes, right? That's Mercedes,
that's
right?
Mercedes. And
yeah, I know that ass from anywhere. I know that ass from anywhere.
Look, you everywhere, but in P Valley, okay.
Well, we on year 3 or 4 not having that.
Shit,
it's gotta be.
Yeah, I'm like, it be stuff that you just be so over. I'm over that Euphoria. I feel like it took a second for Wednesday to come back, and I haven't even really watched. I watched like an episode.
Xander ran through that. That's Xander's show. She ran through that already. Both parts. Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was like, let me just wait for the second part to come out, so I'll watch it at some point. But I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Only murders in the building.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening. As always, we will see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back with. Y'all won't hear it live, but you'll get if you pay for our membership, you'll get the episode tomorrow before Friday when we release the other ones. And we appreciate y'all as always. Peace.